Welcome back to the second hour of 8 Bits. We just got through all the stuff that we've been playing this week and a little bit more, and now we're going to be talking about some of the gaming news that has come out over the last week. It's been kind of slow leading up to E3, and
really, I think we're like, this is the beginning.
Well, I mean, the past couple of weeks have been rather slow. So yeah, this is sort of a ramp up of stuff that is going to happen.
It's happening.
Or could happen.
These are the days of our lives.
These are the days of our lives, indeed. Do me one more favor and reset your camera one more time, JP.
Am I still spinning?
You're still chasing your tail. There, so. Yeah, where do we want to go first as far as news is concerned? You just might forever spin, man.
Yeah, maybe I will. I could just probably drop the call, but I mean, I guess most recently we had Far Cry 4 being announced yesterday. Not the biggest news item, but it's definitely. Was this leaked? Was this something that was rumored a couple months back? I feel like it was.
I don't remember reading about it. Was it?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just making shit up.
I don't know. What do you guys?
Did you enjoy Far Cry 3? Yeah, the third Far Cry.
I actually did.
I did.
Yeah, I did. I played through the whole thing, which I guess a little surprising to me because my experience with the first games were, I played them, but I never really I think Far Cry 3 was the first time I'm like, oh, I'm compelled to finish the story.
Uh-huh.
So the cover that they've released, because they say that it continues on, right? That there's some sort of connection. So I'm not really sure, what exactly the story and how it ties into everything that's happened at work. JP, good job.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jen. So let me show you guys saw the pictures, like all the promotional
what is
art.
Willy Wonka doing in fucking Far Cry? Like, what is this? What is this shit?
I don't know.
Is that guy? I didn't beat Far Cry 3, so is this guy in Far Cry 3 or no?
No.
Is this supposed to be the main character? Did they say?
I doubt it's the main character. I think they probably took an approach that was similar to Far Cry 3, where they featured the villain.
Yeah, I didn't see the fact that he had like someone's head in his hand, so that's probably supposed to be you. Maybe
he does.
Have you guys seen? It's already all over. There are lots of JPEGs of Gene Wilder and an Oompa Loompa sitting there.
Yeah, I have seen those.
That would be a great drug trip scene in the game. If like Willy Wonka just walked out.
That is really it really does not fit. Whatever they're trying to accomplish there.
Yeah.
I'm really curious how it is going to tie in with the previous game based off of what they did.
What is going on there too? That's a bad image as well.
No, I didn't see that. I didn't see that either. Like, why is there
a really
an elephant
poorly positioned gun there?
Yeah, why is there an elephant with a harpoon gun next to him? I don't want to kill elephants and steal their ivory and shit, man.
You save Herc from imprisonment and 3 extra story missions. That's only if you pre-order, though.
Oh, okay. Well, shit, that elephant's dead.
I can look at this image all day here that you've got on screen here. I mean, what is going on there? What were they thinking?
Okay, so, yeah, all right, so I saw that picture of the guy with the head. Apparently people got upset about that, and this is the revision. So there is another, you guys were talking about the original photo, but I'm like, what are you guys referring to? And that's what you're referring to. They've actually changed it, I think, in the 24 hour. I don't know.
I'm looking at the NeoGraph thread, and there is like the Willy Wonka guy holding someone's head.
Yeah, here we go. Because here it is on
his hand. And I think he's got a grenade in his hand.
Yeah, this is what they originally showed. Yeah. And then they changed it. So that guy's probably the bad guy. It's going to be in the mountains.
Hey, if they can recreate a boss, I didn't finish Far Cry 3, so I don't know if he's dead or alive. He's probably dead. But if they can do someone and with as much, if they can create another villain that I'm that interested in, then that's going to be awesome. But that's pretty tough to do. Like, Boss was so well, his dialogue was so good that it really drew me into that character. And the animations were also really cool too. Just like watching him speak in the opening of the game.
Yeah.
It's an interesting observation from chat that it looks a little cheesy, like they're almost trying to compete with Saints. And you know, there was something about, was it, who was it? What was his name in 3?
The main character?
Yeah, I thought it started with a V or something, but anyway, like he looked a little Saints Row-ish, but in game he was sort of like a serious psychopath. Like I wonder if this is the same thing, even though it might look like, oh, he's got the purple suit. You know, I don't know. Right. Yeah.
I actually think that would be a bad call for this game.
Oh, it would be
too.
Yeah, I don't want to see them go into sort of like cheesy, you know.
Yeah, we already have one of those.
Ironic humor.
No one needs to do anything else because they already do it so perfectly. So
yeah,
it would be bad. I think they just, if they keep doing what they do in Far Cry 3 or what they did in Far Cry 3, it'll be fantastic. And the weird thing is they said this is coming out in November.
Yeah, it is.
And they pushed a bunch of their other games back to 2015.
Boom.
I think it was the Division. Back? I think the Division got pushed back.
The Division did get moved back,
which makes sense because all we saw at at last E3. I think that was last E3 where they did like the world tour, or sorry, the little police station tour.
Yeah,
that was like so fucking. It looked great, but it was like
this doesn't surprise me, guys. It doesn't surprise me. I think in the world of the internet right now, where everyone has a keen eagle eye on, hey, did what you show us, like, is that the product that we're getting?
Yeah.
I think that a lot of companies are like, okay, we need a little bit of extra time on this one. And Division's one of those, man. It's like that.
I think that's good. That's a good.
No, that's always a good thing when
I agree.
Unless you're Watch Dogs.
Bullshit is getting called on.
Yeah. And plus, if they can deliver on what that game was, what they showed at E3 with that game, like the day that they're like, this is what it looks like on the PS4 and Xbox One, I will be fucking super surprised. There's no way those games are gonna, or that game's gonna look that well on that systems, unless they have like some fucking coding gods there that they're keeping in a room and not letting anyone talk to.
That shit bothers me so much. It's bothered me for years and years. I mean, because it boils down to false advertising.
It does.
You know, I mean, it really is. Like
for pre-orders,
people think they're buying something that they're not getting.
Yep.
You know, it's just a shady thing for game companies to do. Like, either show us your real game or don't fucking show it. But don't make shit up to fool people into buying your game. Or don't overpromise. You know, don't overpromise. Because I don't think in every case they're being intentionally disingenuous. They actually just think that's what they're gonna have, right?
Yeah.
They're overambitious, and then as the development continues, they're like, well, yeah, geez, we only have 5 months left, and we've kind of burned through our money, and you know, our publisher wants this or this to happen, so why don't we just cut out that shit? No one will remember.
Huh. Everyone remembers now. Now, I mean, people starting to get smart about it.
And I wasn't a big E3 person back then, only because it wasn't live streamed. So that's probably maybe a cause for a lot of this, is because everything is shown immediately and you can all access it immediately when it comes out at E3. But in the older E3s, did they ever overpromise anything like that? I'm trying, like, did Nintendo ever show like a Zelda announcement trailer that looked ungodly and then it never delivered on that?
Well, I mean, I think the original tech demos for all of those machines of that era, I don't know if you remember, like the PlayStation 2 tech demos that they did, and even even the game, it was GameCube, wasn't it, Jeff, where they had the amazing mature Zelda. And people were like, oh, my God. And it was just more like a tech demo for the hardware. You know, it's
and you know
probably run off PC.
Tech demos happen. It's fair. Like, we get it. But I think that, you know, they'll do that. And there's maybe nothing wrong with that. But it's not represented correctly as what it is. And they don't put in the proper disclaimers. You know, like, fair enough to do that. But then say, you know, final game may not actually look like this. Or whatever.
Yeah.
So to just be more transparent. But now they have to. I mean, now everybody's got the tools. You know, there's Digital Foundry. There's other places that are just going to do it shot by shot and show you where you're wrong. So like bullshit is getting called every day now. Like those days are just over where people are just going to be fooled by stuff.
Yeah. I mean, and also we're in this weird thing where, you know, we don't know what these next-gen systems are truly capable of. So I do believe that eventually when we get to these newer cycles that people are going to be pushing out amazing shit. But right now, gamers are a bit skeptical. I'm myself included in terms of like, you know, I mean, I played through Infamous Second Son, and it does look like a next-gen game, but it doesn't. It's not the whole package, right? It is just a really pretty game built off of a reasonable foundation for mechanics. So I think that sort of not knowing what is actually capable, like, it makes it easier for these companies to kind of bullshit us a little bit. Hence, and we're going to talk about it, but a little bit of the watchdog stuff going on.
Yeah, that's where we can lead into.
Yeah. So what do you have to say about this, JP?
And well, to introduce the story or the news, it was announced. I think this was also on Tuesday. It was a big news day on Tuesday. That 900p on the PS4 and 792 on the Xbox One, both at 30 FPS. About halfway. No. The third to last paragraph on this Ubi blog is when they dropped this in. So I don't know if they were like, we're gonna run this past them, guys.
It's like preemptive, right? It was like, let's not go to the press. Let's write a blog that just like
let's get some money on our website, because I'm sure a lot of people are gonna not get this game now on our two consoles. We'll just get it for the PC. Now they're not that evil, but it is a little bit weird that it came so late in this article. And they made the news themselves. But that announcement dropped, especially after, for I don't know, 2 days or 3 days before this, they had, I think they said that it was going to be 1080p 60 for the longest time on the PS4. And then they change it to this at the end, like, 2 weeks out or 3 weeks out from the game shipping, which is kind of weird.
I mean, 900?
It's 930.
930. This makes me so angry, this paragraph. You know, while some new gen games now offer native 1080p, Morin says it's much more important to deliver an amazing next-gen experience than it is to push a few more pixels onto a screen. Well, isn't that a part of delivering an amazing next-gen experience?
Yeah.
And, quote, resolution is a number, just like frame rate is a number. All those numbers are valid aspects of making games. But that doesn't actually, like, it's such a deflective
oh my God, that
statement.
paragraph made me cringe out loud. But not, I guess you can't cringe out loud, but but yeah, that was just like, oh God, don't say resolution's just a number like that. Yeah.
Pretty soon it's going to be like, your eyes are actually only capable of saying, and be like, dude, you got to stop. You're talking to the wrong guys. You're talking to this is what I feel like they print to a magazine 7 years ago, because no one actually knows, right? No one was going, what is the resolution of our SNES and even N64, even until like PlayStation 2 and Xbox came out, right? Where it started making a difference. So I think it's hilarious, those comments being made. And I mean, I somewhat feel a little bit sympathetic, because they are like the first company trying to put out these next-gen games, but it becomes their words become so empty when you've got something like Infamous Second Son, when you've got something like, you know, even like a Titanfall that is outperforming what these guys have been working on for, you know, a very, very, very long time. It's just kind of sad.
Yeah. It's weird to me that this whole new console generation so far, like, this seems to be like the big topic. And I don't know. I mean, I've been through like every generation's launch, and I don't remember this being this big of not a big deal. It is a big deal, but this controversial.
With resolutions, you mean?
With resolution, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that. Maybe the community, and this is me just kind of spitballing ideas, but it might be like I feel like today's community, when it comes to the gaming world and whatnot, are super, super fixed on resolution because of advertising and whatnot. Like 1080p became such a selling point for so long there, and it was such like something that was coveted in the gaming world, that if they could hit that, it was like, oh my God, this is the next best thing. And I think with the generation leap from the Xbox to Xbox One, PS3 to PS4, that was what everyone was expecting to be the next thing, was that everything is 1080p 60.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, we also have to consider, and what you just said is even more hilarious, because Microsoft has actually touted like we have 4K capabilities with Xbox One, and it's like, yeah, and what are you gonna do with that, guys? Yeah. But actually, while I agree with you, JP, I also feel like it's functionally, you know, when I look at the menu of my PlayStation 4 in 1080p, it looks fucking glorious. The moment I put it into 720p, my eyes can tell the difference. They've been trained for the last 5 years. When suddenly now technology is like, we're just going to go backwards in resolution, my eyes that have been having, you know, sex with my TV screen because of how great 1080p looks, whether it's watching a movie or a Blu-ray or even in some cases gaming, and then of course getting that experience on a PC, it's hard to swallow that pill. Like I'm like, dude, you know, it doesn't make sense to me. So I think it's functionality as well as, like you said, sort of the mindset that this is what we've been sold into, and now it's like they're trying to, oh wait a second, no, cars with 4 wheels aren't that great.
Like, right, I think it's maybe also partially like, why did we buy these new machines? You know, like the Xbox 360 and the PS3 were great machines that still, in some, you know, in a lot of games still look great. So we all upgrade. Well, not all of us, but those of us who upgraded were expecting a truly next gen thing for our many hundreds of dollars, right? Like, okay, I bought your new one, so this shit better look like a lot better than the last one. And so far, no one's really delivered. So even if you just take numbers out of it and all of that, I think it might just be sort of we expected a truly next generation, and so far it's not feeling that way.
Yeah, feels like 0.5.
Yeah, it's like a 0.5.
Yeah, I might be. I don't know. I guess we'll just say this and see what people think. How long did it take for like Xbox and PS3 to really get out of like the first run of their games, right? The first games on those consoles to when we actually started seeing like giant leaps in graphics? Is there a particular game that you could say like, is a year fair? Like,
it's usually year 2 when we start seeing.
Are we being I hate fucking saying community, but are we being as like a community too harsh on these consoles for looking the way that they do this way? Or is it the fact that we're pissed off at the developers for saying one thing and then delivering worse things on launch? Is that what we're more upset about? Like saying it's going to be a 1080p 60 experience, and then them saying, "Oh no, we're 792 now."
Yeah, I think it's some of both. I mean, definitely, I think if you go back in the history of the generations, it is like the second year where you really start seeing, because the developers themselves have to get used to the, you know, to coding in for the new system, right? So it takes a while for these games to really come into their own. But or these systems to come into their own. Yeah. But I think you're right though too that well, I just spaced on your other point.
Chat is making a great point in saying, hey, while we've got, you know, all these game creators, developers, publishers who are like, yeah, here's our resolutions, Nintendo's over here like 60 FPS.
I went to say this so bad the other day. So bad the other day listening to the Co-optional podcast. Nintendo is out there making 1080p 60 games on inferior hardware to the Xbox One and PS4. And they look fucking gorgeous.
Amazing.
Yeah.
They look so fucking good.
But, you know, like their games and their IPs
they're very
lend
simple
to that, right? I mean,
yes, they do.
Which is, I mean, it says a lot, but it's awesome, right? This is their time. Suddenly they're like, holy shit.
Is this how Nintendo claws its way back in, where they just keep delivering 1080p 60 games that just first-party games that are amazing? Yeah.
I mean, I don't need, you know, like 10,000 different textures of, you know, books and stuff and posters on walls and all. I mean, think about that. In Watch Dogs, there's probably a shitload of textures in that versus something like, you know, the new Mario Kart.
And Watch Dogs is not even coming to the Wii U, I don't think. No. I think they cited the hardware gap was too bad or something like it. I don't know. But yeah.
All right, let's do this. Let's talk about this one. Because you know what? If we were to sit here and go, all right, guys, let's make our top 3 predictions from Microsoft for E3. You know, because they've got to blow the socks off of their gamers a little bit. I kind of think that one of them on our list would all just be a Halo. And apparently they felt like, hey, we want to get out there ahead of the crowds. And yesterday, Halo 5 Guardians was announced for 2015.
This kind of like at the end of the day. Like, I didn't see this till this morning.
I mean, talk about like, you know, like they spent all day blowing up a balloon, and then Roger, who was all his job was to hold the end while, you know, they tied it up and they could float it off in the air for everyone to see. And Roger let go of that son of a bitch, and it just went. Because I haven't heard anyone talking about this. I saw one thing up on the, you know, up on.
Well, they didn't really show much. They just gave a name.
They didn't, but I thought Halo was just like the.
Yeah. I mean, that'll be their E3 opener.
Maybe, but isn't it like, isn't that what I was to like get excited for? Like, what am I now getting excited for?
Right. Yeah. You know, it's possible that maybe I'm just thinking out loud that you know, the long-term reception to Halo 4, you know, it wasn't particularly great, and maybe they realized that you know, the Halo 5 announcement wasn't going to be greeted with that that you're talking about. And maybe they figured they would just do it now rather than make it seem like they thought this was the big reveal if people were less thrilled about it because of Halo 4. I don't know.
Yeah. You know, that trailer they showed last E3 was, until they revealed that it was Master Chief, was the most hype trailer that they showed the entire show. Because I thought it was a new fucking IP with
right,
Max.
And then they're like, "Oh, psych! It's Master Chief."
Yeah, and then like he
guys.
takes off his robes, and it's like Master Chief, and I'm just like, motherfucker! Like, god damn it!
Hey guys,
I don't care about this anymore.
More importantly,
yeah,
the game will run at quote 60 frames per second on dedicated servers with the scope, features, and scale we've been dreaming of for more than a decade.
All right, well, when a year from now, when they pull back,
why just not say that? Why just don't say it?
It's become a selling point.
Because they don't have anything to show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
but why so early would you be making the kind of claim that it's just going to fucking bite you in the ass if you can't live up to it? Like everything we've just been talking about is exactly why you don't make that kind of statement.
Yep.
I mean, sure, we can get excited about it, but like I can't even hear that without immediately being skeptical.
Yep.
I'm still kind of flabbergasted is like, what is Microsoft's holy shit, you win this E3 game?
That's the thing is, if they're showing this, Who Tycoon's the best game on Xbox One. But if and I'm serious about that comment, that's 100%. If they're showing this or announcing this, like, what do they show at E3 that tops this? Like, you're right, Halo is their big thing. I think Gears of War has been rumored. There's a new one coming. I think that's already confirmed. That's probably.
And maybe they did this so they can go, you know, a month ago we announced that Halo 5 The Guardians is coming, and now we've got exclusive gameplay
that's
for you guys.
That's what they're going to do for sure. But like, what are they? What's the thing that you don't know that you're going to be excited about that they announced?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Minesweeper.
That's Minesweeper 3D. HD 1080p 60.
HD, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what
well, we're going to have, before E3, we'll have to do a little prediction show and have some fun with that. For sure.
You guys are both going to be there, right?
Yes.
Yes, I get to watch from home in my fucking underwear. I'm so excited.
Yeah, that's the best way to experience E3.
Fucking wake up on Monday morning about 10 a.m., get some popcorn, just get one of those giant bags from Costco and just all day.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Like the first time that that anyone ever goes to E3, it's a trip. You know, it is super fun, but it's so crowded and it's so loud and there's so many people and everybody's in kind of a bad mood. You know, this is not a consumer show.
It's not PAX.
It's not PAX. This is not people who are going because they love games. I mean, hopefully everybody at E3 loves games too. But these are all like people doing their job, right? And they're all stressed out over the awards or whatever, and it's just really a stressful environment. when I was in the press, like none of us had fun because we were like racing from one appointment to the next. We were always an hour late for everything. The crowds, everybody's pushing. People get mad because you're cutting in line. Blah blah blah. Yeah.
Yep.
So really, if you're watching this and you've never been to E3, do what JP is going to do. Watch on TV and be happy because you're getting the better experience.
I have a friend that's working their booth for the first time ever at an E3 event. Granted, they've been a nurse before, so they've done some pretty fucking hard work. But I keep telling them, like, you're not gonna have fun at E3. Like, it sounds like it's gonna be fun, but you're gonna be standing there 8 hours a day for 3 days straight, talking to slimy businessmen that are probably gonna be constantly harassing you for who knows what. Like, I hope you have the best time of your life. You're not going to have the best time of your life, though. It's so hard to get that point across, because as like a kid, going to E3 was my holy grail. That was like my end goal in life, was to one day go. And now I have zero fucking drive to ever go to an E3.
I mean, really, anybody who said that today, I would just say go to PAX.
Yeah.
That's what PAX is. You still get the spectacle of the show floor and the giant displays and the lights and all that. But then you actually get to play games. You get to hang out with people just like you who actually want to be there. Yeah. There's all sorts of fun to be had at PAX. And E3 is just a trade show.
And most of the time at E3, all the cool shit is waiting in line for 2 hours, is it not? Like
at E3?
Yeah.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Yeah.
The coolest shit, because they don't have like an indie area like PAX does.
Yeah.
Or if they do, it's nowhere near what it is at PAX these days.
Or it's at a Sony or Xbox booth where all the indie shit is.
Well, right, but not like people can't afford their own like random booths for small indie companies. It's too expensive to go there.
So a couple other Microsoft things this week, which I think are definitely worthy of some praise, even if it's maybe too little too late. But they did announce that if it's not already in like a month, several of their services will no longer require Xbox Gold.
Right.
So
thank God. Yeah, that's like 4 years late.
Right. It is pretty late, especially when you consider that there's other platforms that let you do it for free. But that includes things like Hulu and Netflix and Twitch and all these, all this other things. So I think that'll open it up a lot more to suddenly, oh yeah, this does make sense as like a living room console box, and no, I don't have to pay a yearly membership. But the other thing that's kind of weird, because I feel like when the Xbox One announcement came and they were getting criticized for the price, they were almost telling me that, look, if you don't have this Kinect, you're not going to have the Xbox One experience that you think you're going to have. And now they're simply saying, we're getting beaten by PS4. We've got to drop the price on this thing. What's the simplest thing to axe? Well, you never needed a Kinect in the first place.
They're kind of underselling it. Like, it's pretty fucking big news, especially to drop this before an E3, because that's, in my opinion, that's like a conference.
But they would never do that, because it is a bomb, because it is essentially backpedaling, right?
Exactly. If you look back to what they announced, I guess a year ago, on what the Xbox One was as a platform, and today it is completely different.
Yeah.
Like, no Kinect, all of their like forward-thinking DRM stuff, or whatever you want to call it. Maybe forward-thinking is too generous, but all of that stuff is completely changed, and now it's basically everything that a PS4 is, kind of one-to-one, except for the hardware inside. Like, everything that the PS4 is doing, they're now doing. It's really weird to see them drop that. Like, I would have never thought, I thought we were at least a year out, maybe 2, for a new SKU to come out. And here we are in June, they're going to start selling these. I think you can already pre-order them now on Amazon.
It does change that developer perception, too, where it's like, well, if we develop a game for an Xbox,
felt really bad
everyone
for
had...
Harmonix,
Yeah, everyone has it. So suddenly, what? Fantasia?
They sold, what,
and
5 million of those?
Right, the Harmonix guys, they tweeted that day. They were clearly not happy.
They were pretty upset, Yep.
What did they say?
It was also... They weren't told. I think, because they weren't told this was happening until it was announced.
Right. The guy who's the head of their communications, he basically just tweeted, "Oh, great." I think that's all he said, without referring to it specifically, but it was minutes after the announce, so I think it was clear.
Yeah. That I don't know. What's his Twitter? Is it just John T. Drake?
Jaunty Drake.
Yeah. So that was a little unfortunate. And then there was the news. I think this came out of some interview. I wish I could fucking cite the source, but Phil Spencer was quoted talking about Rare, and they were the flagship Kinect developers in-house. And now he's talking or saying that they're trying to figure out what their next move is what they're doing right now. So
interesting.
If Rare returns to actually making real games, maybe this is a win. Maybe this is what they needed.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jeff.
No, I was just wondering, like, what I bought it. I bought the Xbox One. I bought them both, but like from the very start, I wondered, what am I even going to use this for? Like, our Kinect games. I mean, yeah, there's Fantasia, but like, how big a thing was that ever going to be?
It was never. I never understood, even after the. I mean, dude, they had to have known from the first Kinect that look, the retention rate of people trying this one time and then coming back and using again is fucking horrendous. Like, you cannot tell me that there was a huge conversion rate. So when it came out in the first place for Xbox One, I was just flabbergasted. It was the same reason, be like, why would Nintendo bring out a Wii Fit 2 if they knew that just a bunch of people bought it and then it just sat around and never did anything and no one ever developed games for it? Like, no one has made a solid product that has ever taken advantage of a Kinect in a way that's like blown anyone's mind or convinced developers and publishers that this was the types of games they need to be making. I mean, to me, it's not much different than the motion controls. Like, they're still kind of here and now built into our controllers and stuff, but like, at the end of the day, the motion controls have pretty much taken a backseat as well. Like,
big surprise.
Yeah, right.
Who knew that was going to be a fact?
There were a couple of E3s ago. Actually, I guess it's many E3s ago now, 3 or 4, where I remember the Microsoft press conference. Like, every single game they came up there, every fucking demo was like people waving their arms.
And they're the worst too. I mean, Sony's they're guilty of that shit too, man. The little storybook crap that they did. And I mean, Nintendo had everyone fooled, man. They had everyone fooled because people were like, obviously you need to have some motion because
if you think about it, Nintendo's motion control, it actually worked. Like, it did what it was set out to do. There's so many instances of the Kinect just like fucking being a piece of shit. And just not working ever.
That's right. Well, the Wii was amazing at the time. We really had. I mean, we all played Wii Sports. We all did that, and for that,
played it for 30 minutes. Yeah, everyone's done.
Yeah, for that brief window of time, though, it was cool, right? And it was great to show like all your non-gamer friends. Like, that was the thing that so many of us like showed our parents and stuff. Like, but I was never sold on the Kinect, and I was never sold on the Move.
Yeah, I never bought a Move, and I never got a Kinect until the Xbox One. The only thing I got was the Wii.
That's why I got it. Yeah, because it was built into the Xbox One, and I used the voice controls for a while, but mostly just for TV. And now I've even kind of stopped doing that.
It's good for when I had the first month that I had the Xbox One. I had Gold as well because I wanted to see what it was all about, etc. And I've had Gold prior to that, but I used it for Netflix a little bit. I liked that it was. It navigates that system pretty well. I don't know. It navigates that system kind of poorly with a controller because it's made for a Kinect type interface with it, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'll use it over the PS. Well, I use my PC for it, but I don't. If I had a choice between PS4 and Xbox One, I don't know which I would use. Because the Kinect stuff is cool, but most of the time it becomes a screaming match, right? Where it's a one-sided screaming match where you're just talking louder and louder to try to get it to work.
Yeah.
And
actually, what I hate is when I
turn it on.
Yeah, that's right. What I hate is when I'm playing a game, and then it thinks it hears something and it comes on.
Yeah, that's always funny.
It start asking me shit. I'm like, I wasn't talking to you. Go away.
I
think the last
like an annoying friend.
I think the last game I played was Zoo Tycoon, and there was a couple moments where I would be playing off stream, but I'd be watching a stream, and someone on the stream would say Xbox on, or Xbox off, and it would pop up on mine like to turn it off. And that shit annoys the fuck out of me.
That's crazy.
It's the worst.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, everyone's
it's weird.
trying voice too.
Yeah, I mean, they were smart to do this, but it's weird. You know, it's a tricky PR issue for them to navigate.
I really also like Phil Spencer coming in, and is this like a result of him being like, get this the fuck out right now? Like, I wonder how much of this decision was him trying to like set everything they're doing on point.
I mean, it makes sense because someone has to be evaluating this and going, these numbers don't add up. Like, that's
right.
it.
At some point, they're just like, fuck it. Like, we're going to eat our words. Just do it. We need to sell more of these things. Yeah. People are going to ask us questions about it, so here's 5 talking points to get around it.
Yeah.
I mean, PlayStation sold more in April. Titanfall was the better game, but PlayStation was the better console. Like, I still never would have guessed that PlayStation would get some footing back in the North American market the way that they have, and so quickly. I thought it would probably take another generation.
It's really a night.
And don't you think it feels more like Microsoft losing it than Sony winning it? Because it's not like there's like some like awesome killer apps on the PS4 that make this the obvious machine to buy. I think it's maybe more that people got turned off by Microsoft rather than turned on.
Oh, the community favor is definitely in PS4. Yeah. Only because of what they were saying, not about anything about the games or anything like that.
Of course, the PC is still better than both, but hey.
Yeah. But no one can be like, I am the CEO of PC gaming. Like it's such a weird. Gabe could probably do that. I'd be like, all right, Gabe. I mean, yeah.
He kind of is a CEO of PC gaming.
You can do that, Gabe. That's fine. You just make Half-Life 3 one day. And
he's our Lord Emperor of PC gaming.
Exactly.
Was the compendium out? I don't think it was out yet when the show aired last week.
What do you mean?
The compendium, the Dota 2 compendium?
Oh.
Are you familiar with this, Jeff?
I think
So they have like Valve puts on this giant tournament every year called the International.
Yes.
So what they did is last year they sold this thing called the Compendium, which was basically a virtual book that had all sorts of information on the teams and the players. It was really cool. But every time that someone bought one, it put into the prize pool. And so they had like a crowdsourced prize pool. It ended up getting like 2.8 million. Oh, that was last year. This year, last Friday, the Compendium released, and the prize pool is already up to like 5.3 million. Because what they've done is not only can you buy a compendium, but then they've given your compendium levels that you can do different things like join a fantasy league, make predictions on the upcoming tournament matches, like play games, watch games, and then you can buy more points to put into your compendium. But every time you buy, it puts more into the prize pool. The reason I even brought this up is because you guys were talking about Gaben being the CEO, is that everyone's been joking that like they're gonna actually hit all the stretch goals that Valve put forth, because 6,000 they just were like, we'll put stretch goals up to 6 million. It's gonna go past 6 million. So everyone's joking is that like they need to just make 20 million stretch goal Half-Life 3, and then watch is like everyone like would actually just buy compendiums and go into it.
If they announced 20 million Half-Life 3, it would hit that within 2 hours.
I actually think it would, man.
I agree.
It would be number 1 on Reddit all for the entire time.
Oh yeah.
It would hit that every major game. Like, that announcement is the equivalent of someone dropping a literal atomic bomb for the gaming world. Like,
sites would go down.
If someone got nuked and Half-Life 3 was announced the same day, Half-Life 3 would be the bigger story for the gaming world.
Yeah,
it's the shittiest thing ever, but that's the truth.
There are still 2 months left to raise the compendium. I think that by the end of the weekend, it might hit 6 million already.
Damn.
Probably, yeah.
Which is insane.
Yeah. Hey,
totally
man,
cool.
Jeff and Weed, I've said it before, but you put wheels on your desk, you get some great ideas, man. That's where that all comes from. That's where it all comes from.
Oh man, it must be great to be Gaben. Really, just to Just to know that you could just be like...
You know what he's doing right now, Wheat? You know what he's doing this exact moment?
What?
He's sitting there with the compendium live tally of the money, and it's just constantly flowing, and he's got a knife, and he's just cleaning his nails. That's what he's doing.
Ordering more knives on the internet.
And someone just wheels their desk in, and they're like, hey, we got some new knives. He's like, put them there. And they like slowly put some on his desk.
I mean, what would it be like to wake up every morning and be like, oh, man, should I announce Half-Life 3 today? Nah. To be able to just do that knowing that, you know, millions
think of the trolling, the epic trolling this guy could do.
Oh, man.
He could do some amazing
stuff. I must love the fact that he is like so much power. A human meme.
Big announcement today, he could say.
Yeah.
And the best part like, too, I switched cat foods.
Yeah, totally. What, you were expecting something else?
They have the best form of like promoting because they just make a banner on Steam. And then they have everyone's in the world like that has a PC, they have everyone's attention when it comes to announcing anything. It's just ridiculous. Valve is such a fucking weird company. So weird. But they're privately owned, makes who knows how much fucking money. Nintendo thought they had the money printing machine, but nope, Valve's had it this entire time. No one's really thought about it, but they're just making so much fucking money.
They just stole it. They just stole it away from Microsoft or anybody else. They're just like, we're going to own PC gaming. Everyone's going to buy their PC games from us, regardless of whether they're Valve games or not.
Yeah.
And, I mean, to me, that is how I buy PC games. It doesn't even cross my mind that I would buy them at a store or even Amazon. Like, I just go to Steam. If it's not on Steam, it basically doesn't exist, except for things like, Hearthstone or,
Yeah.
Right.
Or an MMO.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
All right, we're hitting about the top of the hour. We should probably think about wrapping things up as we conclude our gaming news. But
yeah, I'm just seeing any more. I don't like to talk about NPD numbers too much, but they released NPD for April, and granted, it doesn't take on. It's only physical sales, no digital copies. Did you see how many fucking Lego games were in the top 10?
Yes.
There's like 4 or 5 Lego games in the top 10.
Because they're amazing.
I'm just like, what the fuck, man? Who publishes the Lego games, by the way? Who does that?
TT.
Is it? Oh, it's T. Okay, so that's like their big moneymaker for sure.
Yeah, like people are buying yachts over there for sure.
But hey, you know what? I'll take this over the old days where half the top 10 was like Deer Hunter games.
True.
Yeah.
You might be too young for this, JP, but there was a point at which every PC game was like Ostrich Hunter or whatever.
Oh yeah, no, I remember that.
Ferret Hunter. So like a whole bunch of Lego games, I'm down with that. They're awesome. They're amazing.
They are.
I still need to. I haven't committed to one just yet.
It's okay.
I'll find
one day they'll release the Super Lego Ultimate Edition that will have like every game on one Blu-ray or some shit, and you'll just play it that way.
Well, didn't Lego do an MMO? I think I did play the MMO Lego Land or Lego World.
Lego has a new MMO coming out called Lego Minifigs, which is
I remember you told me about that.
Yeah. I don't know where the status of that is, but that was the Funcom one, so we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap up. Let's do our final thoughts, shout-outs. I'll start with you, Mr. Greenspeak.
All right, so I'm twitch.tv/Greenspeak, also Greenspeak on Twitter. I'll be doing more Dark Souls 2 live streaming sometime this weekend. I'm probably going to stream a little bit of Hearthstone.
Do it.
Probably, yeah.
You'll be the next streamer with 15,000 people watching you.
Yeah, well, until they see how shitty I play.
They'll still watch. Like, Hearthstone community's weird.
And that's it for me. And I hope everybody has a great weekend, including you two guys.
Hey, thanks.
Thank you. You should play if you play Outlast. You should stream that. People would go crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Do
turn all the lights off. Make it real dark in your rooms. It'll be great.
I'll be scared. When I play scary games at my house, I have to like tell my wife, like, please don't sneak up on me.
Please don't call 911 when I start screaming. It's just a video game. I'm not actually being assaulted in my room. It's just me. There's no burglars.
JP?
Yeah, shoutouts right after this. Well, probably about 30 or 40 minutes from now. Whenever Sean takes his lunch break, when he gets back, I'll be jumping on Dark Souls. I think I'm going to finish the game today. I'm not too sure. I don't want to know how close I am, so don't tell me. But it feels like I'm getting to the end, which is a really sad thing because that means that game's almost over.
Aww.
And on my alt character, I'm at a point where the game's really, really hard again, and I don't want to sit there and grind right now, so I'm just waiting to beat it on my main character. As for tomorrow, I think I'm going to check out Broforce. Have you guys played that game at all or seen that game at all? It's like a... What am I trying to say? I know what the fucking game is.
Cooperative.
Neo Geo game. You're gonna Metal Slug. It looks like a Metal Slug type game.
I see it. Yeah.
So I'll probably be playing that with a couple friends. Maybe some Dragon Age Origins tomorrow. I might rearrange my desk, so I might not even stream anything because if you know what my desk is like, that's a day and a half type thing ordeal. And then Sunday we've got R&D at sometime. I don't know. Go into my channel and type 8 EST. Or go into my channel, type ! Roleplay. It'll let you know. And then next week is a new week. And Monday I'll probably not do much. Then we'll start back with the whole roleplay train all over again. And I think we are confirmed for Thursday if you're in.
Yeah. Let's talk about that offline, but I think that's going to work.
Okay, cool. We'll be doing a one-shots with Wheat and the cast of myself, Caitlin, Maggie, and Dodger from the Polaris podcast. So that should be a lot of fun.
Especially given the content of said one-shots. It'll be good.
Yeah, it'll be good.
There will be horror, and there will be situations that will be a lot of fun. All right, guys.
He just wants to kill people.
No, I don't. I just want to make them question themselves as a human being.
That's
what
go.
I want to do. I can't wait. It'll be great. So yeah, I'll be streaming on and off this weekend as well. Of course, we've got Twitch Weekly coming up in about an hour. If you've never tuned into this, it's a show I started over at Twitch that basically gives you up to date on everything that's happening over the course of the week. I do that with Fish Sticks and Atrioc over from Twitch. So that'll be over on twitch.tv/Twitch in about an hour. Other than that, thank you for joining us for another episode of 8 Bits. It's a pleasure to have you guys, and we appreciate you coming out. And we will see you next time for another episode. Take care. Have a great weekend. We're out of here. Peace.
See you guys.